Hello, all you cosmic travelers and wanderers. This is Darlene Grift and K. Melissa Waterman, inviting you to join us today in our episode of Expansion from Within, Exploring Multidimensionality.
Let me introduce you to my friend and dear colleague, Darlene Grift. She is a lifetime experiencer, a medical intuitive, and a multidimensional mediator for over 35 years. She's also an author, an artist, a teacher, and a mentor for spiritually invested people.
And K. Melissa Waterman is my friend and colleague, and she's an intuitive mentor, a spiritual teacher. She also works with energy on many levels. In the past, Melissa has worked with Dr. Joe Dispenza on his research team.
Join us on our journey of meeting multidimensional beings, exploring what it means to be human, and expanding our spiritual evolution. Well, today is going to be a fun day. We're going to do a couple of things. I think at some point we're going to do a little meditation. You're going to bring us into the white space. That will be cool. I wanted to start by asking you a little bit about your process. I think it's important for everyone to know.
Okay. Things are shifting. The evolves came in aside from the Council 28. They evolved in October. And so we've been doing last year with the episodes, and then we're up to what, 33 total?
Today will be number 33, yes.
Yeah. What I've been looking at is my process and how they've always worked with me. Because the way that I think is puzzles, like I love puzzles and putting them together, or as a painter, you put the background first before you start building in the colors and the definition and the details. So I looked at that and realized that that's how they've trained me in these 30 some years. That will give me the border of the puzzle, or they'll give me the background. Then I need to fill in the void past that. What is really the meat of the situation or the subject matter? When I took a look at all of our podcasts that we've done, for me, it was like subjects that are important to humanity for them to understand, that might be questioning for them, that what is multidimensionality and empaths and timelines and all of that. So that was like the border of a puzzle. All the flat pieces that you put together so that you have the border of it, the perimeter of it, so that now it's time to fill in the intricate pieces. With the evolves, they're coming forward now to want to work in the white space with us in doing the podcast. That's what we're going to work with today, is we're going to go into that white space. We're going to take people into that white space and see what happens.
Do you want to speak about the different groups that you run at this time with the evolves before we go into the white space?
Sure. So there's two groups that you're involved with. That's how many's running right now. They've been in existence for about 5+ years. And the first one is Cosmic Travelers. That is going into the white space because everybody in that group that has been with me the longest has gone through the council room, which was the original space that I was introduced to back in very early 90s. And that was a teaching facility. And then in this last year or so, they moved into the white space. And the white space is more of a co-creative center. It's a place of neutrality. When I say that it's a white space for me, I tried painting it several times and it's just not coming. And the reason why is it feels like a cloud. So the white space has like a soft white, like when you think of somebody saying the soft white light bulbs, that's what it feels like to me. So it's spacious, it's open, it's undefinable. There's no seats in there that I can see or anything, like everything blends in so that you really don't see each other like you would in the council room. There's no table in the middle. There's nothing like that, but they do bring images in to work with, but it's not a teaching facility like it was. It's now something that is a co-creative center, is what they would say. It brings in cosmic order, place of neutrality, a place of what was our first template on earth of bringing something in that worked for universally for everyone. It's a neutral place. It's a place of honoring creativity and allowing all the differences that we do have with respect. Right.
And both groups use the white space now, both the cosmic travelers and the core travelers. Those are the names of the two groups. They both use, we all go into the white space.
Yes. And would you like to share, because you're in both of them, what's your experience in both?
I'm happy to talk about that. The Cosmic Travelers group, it's a larger group of people. I want to say, I think there are probably close to 100 people who have been in the group, and always about 35 or 40 that are with us in that group. I find it to be an interactive group in the way that everyone is assigned a number beforehand. Information is given very specifically to my number. I'm given things about my body, my chakra system, on subjects that will be beneficial for me to work with. This meeting meets once a month, so I have a month to work on it until the next meeting. Whereas the core travelers group is much more global. It's a smaller group of 15 to 20. We are given missions to literally hold space and work on topics for the planet in specific areas of the planet. And we do that for weeks at a time. We meet every 2 months, and that's a good bit of time to work on these different areas. We've worked on holy sites, and we've worked on very specific continents and political areas of political interest. They have a different focus, each of these groups.
And the core is more one-to-one interactive, where you have numbers, but you're called to, you're called to interact with them. Like, what do you think here? What would happen here if this happened, and that type thing.
I have to say that is the most interesting thing that I've ever experienced in my spiritual growth. That the way the evolves speak with us and ask for, I want to try and give an example. If something's happening, say, in an area of the United States, they'll say, what will you bring to this situation? And then I answer whatever comes to me in the moment. I'll bring white light. And then, given this white light, then number 2, what do you bring? What will change once this white light is in? How does that shift? You'll bring, and then they're building the change that's about to occur or is happening in the very moment, given our individual answers. And it's quite beautiful.
They see themselves as teachers, so they want interaction. They are not there to just say something or to provide insight. They want the co-creative process to continue. We'll see what happens today when we go there and what they provide.
It's really spectacular. I think both the interactive piece of both groups is unique. I've not known, other than channelers or mediators who are asking an audience to ask a question in the middle of a channel. Abraham Hicks comes to mind, and Bashar. They'll have people ask questions and then they answer those questions, but this is very different. This is very specific. The Cosmic Travelers, about my heart chakra needs work. Information is given on different areas of our body that might be impacted, and then I get a very specific number that correlates with the heart or the spleen or whatever it might be. It's really different.
Yeah, and they also use the tools, that figure 8. I noticed that a lot of times they use that figure 8 in that integration process of whatever they're offering, and however we're participating in the white space is to use that figure 8 tool, that energy of the figure 8, so that we are intentionally sending something, and so that we can receive. So they use these tools that we've talked about.
Right. Well, let's talk about the figure eight just for a minute. Everybody knows what a figure eight is. And it's our infinity symbol when it's on its side. And I know that in the group, we've had to sometimes connect our heart with our crown or our heart with our throat and use the symbol. It's energy going from the throat down to the heart, up from the heart into the throat, or whatever the specific areas are that we're working with. And it's a beautiful tool to be able to use and feel and embody that energy movement.
And that cross point there is the choice. We can send, but where it crosses and comes back is that choice point of sending and receiving.
Because there has to be a willingness for both sides of that.
Yes.
Right. I think that really needs to be highlighted, that cross point is our moment of making a free will choice.
Right.
That we're willing to receive, that we're willing to send.
If we take a look at it as a chakra system, which it isn't, but if we took a look at that, it's where our third chakra lies in that cross point, because it's that willingness, it's where our will lies, right? And it's where our commitment to ourselves lie. So that it's choice. It's yes, I'm moving forward in this, or no, I'm blocking it and I don't want to receive anything. It's that place for both the receiver and the sender.
Right. The other thing I want to mention about the core travelers group, it feels like there is a greater level of commitment to the evolves in that group. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, because they were invited in because of who they are and what they do and what their participation is. It's not as much personal work. That's what comes up in the cosmic travelers, the personal work to bring your energy up, to raise your vibration, to all of that, for all of that. But in the core group, there is a commitment, a responsibility of, okay, now that you have a higher vibration, what do you want to do with it? What do you offer to the planet that is evolving? What do you offer to the timelines? Because we worked many months on different timelines and locations, ancient timelines, and what's there to clear around the Mayans and the Aztecs and Egypt and all of that. It's creating that place to help clear Mother Earth. I think that's their biggest commitment is, okay, you have a higher vibration now. You've come to know us. You've been called in some way for us to see your commitment. How do you work on yourselves outside of the white space and outside of our contact? How do you take that information and utilize it? And then when they're invited in or brought into the core place, the core travelers, it's how are you going to utilize how are you going to contribute, right? Because Earth is shifting. Earth is in her own evolution. We're all happening at the same time. She needs help and support in clearing timelines, energy places, ley lines, all of that. So we take our knowledge base and we move it into how to be contributory to the planet and the mother that we live on.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, it's very powerful. It's really worth being part of. I enjoy it so much. I heard you say you wanted to say something more about the number 33, since this is the 33rd episode. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I noticed that before they moved into the evolves, they added 5 more members that were part of the book series. They were moving into expansion even at that point. So I think probably September, they started to introduce, like, there's going to be 5 more members before they finally evolved into the evolves. So 33 is a really catch number for them. They like it when there's 33 people available. They like it when there's the number 333, even that. But it's significant, I think, for them because it's transitional. 333, when we think of, even part of this is in my own training, is that I think Jesus was 33 at that time. So there's something cosmic There's something galactic, there's something spiritual about that number that signifies change. They gravitate towards 33.
So interesting. And so, yay that they wanted to do this on our 33rd episode. I love it.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that this was our 33rd. I thought it was close, but I was like, oh, it's probably 31, maybe 32. But when you said this morning, oh no, we're at 33, I was like, okay, I guess we're doing it.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
All right, well, let's go into the white space.
You might want to mention this is a meditation.
You definitely should not do this while driving. Make sure that you have some water handy and enjoy.
So we're going to start with our heart space and just feel that. You can put your hand on your heart space and feel the energy there, and relaxing and taking a deep breath in and letting your shoulders drop. And as we open up that central channel of our chakras, we move that energy down into our third chakra. And taking a breath in, just allowing yourself to be present, open, available. Feeling the energy moving through your body into your second chakra, that place of allowance. And into your base chakra, acceptance. And as you have that feeling, that permission of opening up that central channel, take that energy down through your thighs and your knees and your calves, your ankles, your feet. And when you reach the bottom of your feet, see those as roots that leave the bottom of your feet, and they are in search. They go through, if you're sitting somewhere, they go through the floor, they go through your basement, they are searching, and they're reaching, and they're wrapping, and they're exploring earth in a way that those roots break through the surface of earth, and they go down through the bedrock, and they go down through the crystal water caves, and they are searching, and they're looking, and they're exploring Mother Earth and wanting to connect more to her heart, to her core. And as you travel down those pathways through those roots, you may gather or connect to others in this group that is doing this today, whether that is known or unknown of who they are. Be in appreciation and gratitude for all those that have come before us, all our ancestors, all those that live below us under the surface of this planet. And as you are searching and exploring and being curious and opening yourselves up, you're going to wrap those tentacles, wrap those roots around Mother Earth, around her core, feeling her heart, feeling her vibration, feeling her love that she has for all her children, all her inhabitants. Her need to connect, her willingness to be part of this in her own evolution with humanity. And as you wrap those roots around her and you start drawing her energy up, her love for us, her connection for us, her wisdom, bringing that up once again through the bedrock and through the dark soil, the rich vibrancy that she has that is below us, through the caves and the crystals, bringing that up more and more, drawing it up as if you were drawing it up in a straw, bringing it forward, up through the bedrock, up through the surface. And as you take a deep breath in and bring that up through the bottom of your feet, this energy that's coursing through us at this point, coming through the bottom of our feet and our ankles, coming through our calves, our knees, our thighs, as it's urging and moving up into the base of our body, bringing that energy in, opening that space of our central channel, so that as we move into our base chakra, and into our second chakra, that anything you want to let go of, anything about your co-creativity, anything that has happened in this lower part of your body, anything that has been inhibiting you in your creative process, to let it go in this color of orange that goes counterclockwise, calling in those that want to participate with you at this time, anyone that is known or unknown that is in your genetics, that you bring them forward to clear and cleanse, taking that full circle counterclockwise, letting go of all the debris that has held you back in this particular chakra, in this particular system, allowing and moving through that. And as you take a deep breath in and come full circle, take that energy up of Mother Earth and cleansing into the solar plexus, opening and expanding that. And as you breathe in, and if you feel parched right now, as hydrate, moving into that heart space, space of love and connection, taking the commitment up of who you are and who you are becoming. As you open that heart space, that bright spring green just emanates around this circle, going counterclockwise. Anything you want to let go of that has to do with not loving yourself, wanting to love others more, wanting to express yourself more, wanting to feel the freedom of what it feels like to tap into the true love that Mother Earth offers us and has always offered us. And as you let go of any inhibiting factors, any past lives, known or unknown, that are holding you back, anything in this lifetime, any childhood issues that keep you from loving yourself at a deeper level, to let that go and invite your family and invite your ancestors in to also participate in whatever way they can, to send this energy, to send this clearing, to send the cleansing around the circle in that bright spring green. And as it comes back to you in its cleansed form, and your heart opens more, and you can feel the love for yourself, maybe a little clearer, a little deeper. Take that energy up into your throat chakra. From the truth of who you are in your physical form, in your spiritual form of the heart. To speak it in that throat place, to allow yourself to open and expand that, giving you permission giving yourself permission to speak your own truth. And taking a breath in, take that up into the third eye, your limbic system that has been given to all of us to co-create, to bring in, to receive information as well as to send, to become more intuitive. So anything that is blocking you, anything that you feel is inhibiting that energy within you, that ability that we all have, the ability to intuit and to tune into and to feel and to empathize and to have compassion and to grow from that and to co-create, not only within ourselves and within humanity, but within the multidimensional beings that offer themselves so freely to us. And as you bring that up and out in that deep purple energy that goes counterclockwise, you invite in your family, invite in your friends, invite in your genetic history of anything that has inhibited them as well. And taking all that energy from Mother Earth and all the energy of the clearing and all the new DNA that is bubbling up in front of you and within you to open up that central channel again, up and out the crown chakra. And as you take your DNA up, the white space is not far. It is maybe several feet or closer for some. And there is a portal there that you may envision, that you may sense, that you may align with, so that you, when you walk through that portal with that DNA, that you are being invited into this white space, into this place of co-creativity and neutrality, to understand yourselves better, to meet the evolves, to be part of this group, to be part of humanity in a way that assures change. Take a breath in. We are encouraged to hydrate. It keeps the magnification, it keeps the electricity going, it keeps our connection going so that we have a stronger vibration with all of you. What we would like to address first is that we are all in an evolutionary process. There is none of us here today or have ever been on this planet that was not evolving or within the universe. Our destination as evolves started from 1 being, moved to 12, then to 28, 33, and has landed in this form or lack of as evolves. We are one mind, we are one voice. We have come to serve you as well as you can help us in our timelines, in our places of contribution, in the knowing better of who you are and your capabilities, your gifts that have been given to you through many lifetimes, both past and future. We consider ourselves teachers. We are a collective of many more than 33, and we are getting larger by the moment. What we offer humanity is connection, is a deeper understanding and a higher vibration of resonance when you leave us. Agreed.
Agreed.
As we settle in with all of you, the many of you that have participated in this particular meditation, We have experienced your lifetimes, our lifetimes, in many instances, is why we are evolves, because we have been on your earth many times over. We have seen the hardships, we have experienced the hardships, we have experienced the losses and the wins. It is what gives us permission to be evolves and help humanity, because we have lived it. What we see happening on your planet right now is that there is a wide variety of humans that are being put into a crisis place where they cannot think. They are assuming that they need guidance. They are having a difficult time in managing thought process. What they desire is speed. What they desire is something to be given to them. What they desire is something to be fed to them, rather than for them to think out of the box in what is needed and what is necessary, not only for themselves individually, but collectively and for the planet. Many of you want something that comes to you instantly, instant gratification. What we can say in the foresight of what we see is this time period of wanting that instant gratification is preparing you for instant manifestation. However, you are not there yet. Feel what that feels like in the positive aspects of getting gratified with certain things, but watch what you're getting gratified with. And where does your intentions go? And where is your heart in it? You are evolving slowly, and we are here to support you. As teachers, we offer you something so that you can learn for yourselves what we are offering and take it into your world, take it into your identity, take it into some place within you that makes sense, that you can utilize, that you give value. Agreed? We would ask you now to hydrate. What I sense in this white space is that there is there's a lot of observation happening. I believe because this is a very different group. There's not really a contained group. There's not anyone that is on Zoom at this moment that is participating at the level as like we do in the monthly. So there's a lot of energy in observance, not only from within the white space, but it feels like even outside of the white space, if you can imagine or picture that there are many eyes in observance of what is happening here in this moment. So they're doing a visual. So they're presenting a ladder. So they're asking, if this ladder was to take you to your next step, if this ladder was to take you not to the next dimension, because those dimensions are so interfaced with each other that there is no separation any more than there is any separation of reality to time. But if this ladder was to take you to your next step, if this ladder was to advance you in some way for you personally, how tall would it be? Is it 3 rungs? Is it 12? Is it 100? What is your ladder made from? Is it sleek? Is it wooden? Is it sturdy or is it fragile? If you were to climb that ladder at its height and its width, how would you make it more sturdy? How would you support it? How would you ground it so that it is immovable, so that it takes you in that direction of where your focus and intention is warranted? So I'm watching ladders being built within this space. It's very interesting because this is not something that usually happens in the white space, at least for me. So there's all these ladders being built. I don't see people around. I don't see who's building them, but they're coming up in configurations. You know, everybody has enough space. Everybody is, in some way, these ladders are appearing. Some of them are steel, and some of them are crystal, and some of them are, you know, wooden. And there's some of them that have the wood is very knotty, and it is twisting and turning. But everyone, what I'm noticing and what they're pointing out is it's not about the structure that we choose. It's about the footings. The groundedness is one thing. How do you support and anchor yourself to advance, to climb the ladder? But the wrongs are all everyone that is doing this in some way, the wrongs are very sturdy. They are either very wide, flat. There's something that is navigable, that you can navigate, like they're pointing out that you can choose whatever modality, whatever substance you want to hold the framework of this ladder. But the wrongs are the important steps, because you climbing that, you need to know that there's a surety that they will support you. Understood?
Yes.
Take a breath in. And as all these ladders are being built at their dimensions that they are so designed and so co-created, they're showing me a very large frog. What does a frog have that can climb a ladder? So they're looking at for some frogs have such suction cups on their toes, on their fingers, or whatever we would call them, for grasping. For receiving. And if you turned your palms up, in a way to receive, to gather, to connect, to become one with, what would you choose to receive? Is it healing? Is it more wisdom? Is it deeper understanding of yourself and others? Is it knowing that you are loved? Is it being enough? What would you receive? What would you choose? What would be given freely in this white space of connectivity. Take a breath in. And as you open your palms, as you open your fingers, as you open that ability to receive, if you are that frog, are you happy? Are you content? Are you living your purpose? When you look at that ladder, does it look insurmountable? Does it look like you will never reach the end? Do you question, how can a frog climb that ladder? What is its capabilities? What are your capabilities? What are your gifts? Take a breath in. The first rung is the hardest. It comes from a place of choice. It comes from a place of will, that once you start up that ladder, there is not about coming back. It is your evolution. It is your gift of evolution. It is your knowing that something exists far beyond this third dimension that you have chosen to become one in. Will you take that leap? Will you start on those rungs? Will you trust the fact that these rungs will support you, that are at the right level for that frog to leap and leap and leap up those rungs? Will you?
Yes.
And as you make that first leap, it's a leap of commitment, but it is also a leap of joy. There is no doubt in where you are heading when you make that first step. There is no turning around and looking back. There is no wondering where you have come from. Notice and feel the suction cups that hold you steady on each rung. Look around you in what you have created in the sides of that ladder. Because in this first rung, in this first step, in this first understanding and magnification of taking that first step, the choice that you have in moving forward is yours. Do you need more support under you? Do you need to fortify visually, intentionally, the ladder? Because now is the time to do so. Take a breath in. And as you take one more leap up, this is another acknowledgement of your commitment to your own free will, to your own understanding, to your own evolution, to who you are becoming not who you have been, but who you are becoming. Let that frog part of you, let that cleansing frog part of you find contentment in this moment, in that second round. If this becomes your home for a while, if this becomes a place to rest, what would you create there? In the next 3 days, what will you create to settle yourself in, to be part of a different energy? To sing, to find your voice, to speak out about your truth. As the ladder advances above you, in front of you, offering you, beckoning you, that when it is time and when it is your choice, that ladder will be there for you each step of the way in the connection to whatever your goal, your intention was and will continue to be. We prefer as evolves to see this as a happy, content frog. We chose frog for many reasons. One, its significance on your planet and how it protects and also cleanses the depth of muck and mire. We see you all like that. You are not just access points, but you have potential to clear and cleanse not only yourselves, but Mother Earth. You have so much potential in moving forward up this ladder to whatever your goal, whatever your intention, whatever your place of freedom may be that is at the end. Hold in your mind the expansiveness of what a frog offers. Choose a frog that represents you. Is it colorful? Is it small? And take a look at those attributes that feel so natural for you. If you chose a frog that really gets the core of who you are, researching that, understanding it, and utilizing it in a place that brings you forward into this vision that we are creating for you. Creativity is so much fun when you join in. Take a breath in. We would like to join you again in this particular group or others in this white space to again co-create with you in something that we are seeing about you, something that we intuit, something that we know about you in the future. We hope today has helped you to see how we work, to co-create with us, to be part of something that is expanding. Understood?
Yes.
We would ask if there is any questions from Melissa.
I have no questions.
Thank you. So what's happening is that there's a lot of packing up of the of the ladders. So it feels like they're packing them up. There feels like they're coming into more of a centeredness of taking that information in and adjusting it or aligning with it. They are reminding us of the next 3 days in bringing this energy forward in whatever way that we can take that in, whatever way we can utilize it, whatever way we can bring it into our being so that our DNA shifts, our light body expands, our energy body frees itself. Agreed?
Agreed.
So as we gather ourselves together, there are 3 statements that we always use in leaving this space. I am fully committed to who I am and who I am becoming.
I am fully committed to who I am and who I am becoming.
I trust the truth of who I am and who I am becoming.
I trust the truth of who I am and who I am becoming.
I maintain my integrity in all my co-creativity.
I maintain my integrity in all my co-creativity.
Take a breath in. So as we leave backwards out of this portal, as we take whatever we have let go of, as we dissipate it in that white space, as we see it released, as we know that we have come full circle in some way, in a changed position, in a changed energy, in a deeper understanding and knowing, we back out of that portal, taking with us any change that is for our highest good with us, being in gratitude and appreciation for co-creativity, for ourselves, for choosing to come to this planet at this time. And as we take a breath in and we move down from that white space, as we bring that energy back into this physical form, opening up our crown chakra, allowing it to widen, to bring in new information, to bring in connection, to bring in participation. Now we bring in that visual, we bring in whatever we want to take back from that white space that is valuable and important to us in our own evolution. And as we breathe that energy in, bringing ourselves back, bringing our DNA back through our crown chakra, back through our third eye, taking a breath in, bringing that down through our throat chakra, the expansiveness of telling our truth, of speaking our truth without judgment, the freedom of claiming our own sovereignty, allowing that to spread even into our shoulders and down into our heart chakra, opening that space up for more love, love of yourself, love of your neighbors, love of your family. Acceptance and allowance fills this heart space so that in this next week, month, that you live by that you are not alone in that. Taking a breath in and bringing all that energy down into your will, where it gathers together to form something more solid of who you are and where are your commitments, and do they work for you, and do they need to be changed? Opening that space up, bringing that energy down into your second chakra, that place of birthing, that place of co-creative, that's where it starts, is down there in that hara, sending that information to all your internal organs that support and vitalize them. And as that energy starts to settle and it comes in through your central channel down into your base chakra, this is your place to plant your frog. This beginning part of you that starts in that egg form, that starts as that that tiny little egg that is born with many, many, sometimes thousands, that heart beats, and that you can choose what frog represents you. You can research how it represents you. You can utilize it in whatever way that you can to take this co-creative process to move you into what does frog represent and how does it represent that in your life. Make this frog your guide for as long as you need, climbing that ladder of evolution, climbing that ladder of your goals. Take a breath in and hydrate. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Darlene.
You're welcome.
It's always hard to talk after such a white space experience.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little, it's energizing for me, but I always have to ask myself when I come back what my name is, because sometimes it's not. And so I know that I need to, because this work isn't just for those that are in participation, right? Like things will open up for me in my own personal work, but I may not be doing it at the time because I'm receiving the information. So I need to go back when it comes up that I'm not here. I need to go back and ask, so what do I need to do with this? Where is my growth in this?
Those are great questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything else that we want to speak about today?
No, I just am in deep gratitude of doing this. Part of my wanting to stay invisible and becoming visible is doing this work with you and offering the evolves as a avenue of becoming visible. And so we will see where it goes from here.
I just want to remind everyone that if you have questions about this, please contact Darlene at soulunion.com. We'll address them together or she'll answer you individually. But it's very important, if you're having a reaction or if you're having, a very interesting experience, please share it with us. I think it would be wonderful to know. So our announcement.
That is all part of the co-creative process too, is the sharing.
Mm.
It elicits the connection. And it also, when you hear yourself sharing, whether that's in writing or verbal or however that is, it provides assurance, and you're looking for many humans. They're looking for the assurance. At the least, am I doing this right? Did I get it right? There is no right and wrong in this process at all. But it's the assurance of maybe getting feedback from someone. Resonance of, I got that too. Or,
right.
Wow, it was like this part of that was amazing. And this is what happened. And somebody else says, yeah. And then I got it's the conversation, it's the communication that we are being divisive, that we're not in this time period. The communication is becoming less and less because we're becoming so absorbed in other modalities, in our places of being on the computer and technology and all of that is at our fingertips, but the communication is lacking. So yes, sharing is really important to not only your process, but to everyone's process.
I'd love to see us also inquire on Facebook, on our Cosmic Travelers Facebook page, what people's experiences are so that we can have a conversation, maybe through the chat feature. Because I had an experience. I would love to know if other people what their ladders look like, what their frog looks like. What is their frog? Did they research their frog? As we were coming back, one of the things that really was a new idea to me, I really saw when we got to the throat chakra on the way out, that my throat chakra was a blue uterus,
Wow.
like the creation center, like
Mhm.
another. I thought of it as a gate, as a powerhouse, right? Because if we can't get past this chakra, we can't say our truth, we can't activate our free will. But that it could also be this creation center, similar to our second chakra. That image certainly has never come before. So I'd love to hear what other people experienced. Facebook's a perfect place for us to have that conversation.
Good. So when this goes live, we will do that.
Yeah, great. I have some announcements. You can contact Darlene at soulunion.com, to leave your questions, but also to have a session with her. You can contact me at livingwellbeing.net. We have this Cosmic Travelers Facebook page. We also have the Cosmic Travelers live session the third Sunday of each month. Again, it's a participative, interactive meditation directly with the evolves. You contact Darlene through soulunion.com for payment instructions and for the link to attend. We are on YouTube. Please note the blurb below this audio for links to both of our YouTube pages with all of these past episodes and such.
And remember, you know more than you know.